That was some smash mouth football by Michigan. Final score in Ann Arbor. Michigan 27, USC 24. You got the whole seat. Only needed the edge. This was a very Michigan-esque kind of win. Like if you were to give somebody one game to watch and say this is Michigan football in 2024, what Michigan football should be in 2024, you show them that game yesterday. We'll unpack it all right now, what it means for Michigan going forward, what we thought about yesterday's approach. Is that going to work long term? We'll talk about it, but make sure you are subscribed right here. If you're a Michigan Wolverine fan, want y'all dialed in. Because after yesterday's game, you look at your season a little bit differently, and you should, based on the path ahead. We'll talk about that too. So make sure you're subscribed. Also, make sure you're following me now on the social channels, Instagram and Twitter, at JD Piquel. Want to hear from y'all there, so we appreciate you for that. This is who Michigan is this year, okay? And does it look how it did last year? No. Last year you had a first-round pick at quarterback. You had multiple NFL wide receivers on the perimeter. I don't care what round they would be taken in or where they ended up after the draft, like guys that ended up on NFL squads. This is who they are. And I don't think if you're a Michigan fan or you're in that building at Michigan, you need to apologize for it. This is kick your face in, smash mouth football. And this is the stat everyone was tweeting about yesterday, myself included. They threw the ball 12 times for 32 yards and still found a way as a team now. Defense did their job out there. As a team, found a way to score 27 points and find a way to get it done. And here's the deal, man. The beautiful part about it, there is no rule in the sport of college football for how much you need to throw the ball. Okay, like Alex Orji, one of the things that we liked about him coming into this game was the idea that if you're Michigan, you are doubling down on your identity as the bully. Like we saw what they had tried to be a change of pace kind of offense and say, okay, we'll try and, run, pass, and we'll have, playmakers like Colston Loveland, who wasn't even available in this game, which even speaks further to what Michigan is. But when you have Alex Orji in the game, it is we are going to stay ahead of the sticks, we are going to bully you, and the whole sentiment behind what Michigan's doing here with Alex Orji at quarterback in the game plan we saw yesterday, Michigan says if we are tougher than you, if we are more physical than you, if we are stronger than you, which is what that entire program is built on out there in Ann Arbor, then we're going to win the football game. Now, is that sustainable going forward? We're about to find out. But I would say this. When you watched Alex Orji playing quarterback yesterday for Michigan, did he light up the stat sheet? No. But I do think that with him at quarterback, defenses have to at least honor the idea, even consider the possibility that if you crash too hard on that inside zone, 10 could pull it, get around the corner, and hurt you. And now, did he do it a bunch yesterday? No. I mean, he ran for 43 yards, long of 14. But just the possibility of that now causes a linebacker to check his feet just a little bit. Have just that extra tenth of a second hesitation that's going to help a Mullings, that's going to help a Donovan Edwards, whoever else in the backfield next to Alex Orji. So something to consider here. Does he terrify you with his arm? No. But what he is with his legs, again, something else you got to consider. And if Michigan just gets 3 yards a carry, which they got more than that yesterday, they average 3 yards a carry, they're going to be in position to convert, sustain drives, and ultimately, here's the big part, play complementary football. They don't have to run for 290. Though you'll take that, and you probably feel pretty good about your chances to win the football game. You run for 290 every single Saturday. But playing complementary football is what this team is going to be built on in 2024. Because that Michigan defense now, they kind of got a bad rap based on what happened against Texas. And Texas, I think, is an absolute wagon. Another video for another time. But what happened against Texas, in my opinion, was you had that Michigan defense out there for far too many snaps. What you saw yesterday was a Michigan offense that converted, picked up first downs. Were they the best in the world when it came to converting on third down? No. But they were pretty darn good on fourth down as well. They found a way to make that time of possession pretty even for the most part. I think it was right around 50-50 when you look at the box score between Michigan and USC. That allows those defensive linemen that are going to play in the NFL, from a Mason Graham to a Kenneth Grant, to get their wind, to be able to be more fresh when they get back on the field, and ultimately maximize their impact. Also, when you're not turning the football over at the quarterback position, you're going to be in good shape to help your defense out. You're not putting them with their back against the wall on their own 30-yard line with the offense going in. So all those things combined to what we said a second ago. This overall is going to benefit Michigan with this style of play because it is doubling down on their strengths and, for the most part, I think, trying to minimize their weaknesses. And this is not to throw shade at Michigan when it comes to their pass catchers, but we saw yesterday, if you're Michigan, you can win the football game and have your leading receiver have one catch for 10 yards. There's not a ton of guys in the perimeter right now for Michigan outside of a Colston Loveland who didn't play yesterday, who you're like, gosh dang, if we're going to win the football game, he needs to have 10 catches. That guy doesn't exist right now on Michigan's roster. And maybe they'll evolve, and maybe you'll see a guy that needs to see more of the football. I don't know. But, like, overall, if you can execute your style of football, then what else are we talking about here? Doesn't have to look pretty. You don't have to throw it a certain number of times. If Alex Orji keeps you ahead of the sticks, gives you what you need offensively, allows your defense to be in the best position possible going forward, like even a punt is a good play with this offense. So with that being said, that actual complementary football has to be a good feeling if you're Michigan to find a way to get it done against a Lincoln Riley coached offense. Say what you want about that defense. I think they are still progressing defensively at USC. You'll take 290 against anybody. You don't apologize for a second about it. So going back to what I was saying a second ago about the path forward here for Michigan. The win against USC changes optics tremendously, helps the narrative tremendously, but like looking at the path ahead for Michigan, you got to feel pretty good about where things stand. The Illinois game is going to be a lot more interesting because of the fact that Illinois is reeling off win after win and got a big win in Lincoln, Nebraska over the this past college football slate. Host Oregon, you're at Ohio State. If you can go 10-2, you're in the college football playoff. And I understand there's a lot of people that are going to say, well, JD, like, is this offense sustainable? My answer is the bad news right now, no, I don't think that what you did yesterday is going to be good enough against the Oregons and Ohio States of the world to ultimately get to where you want to go, which is the college football playoff. I think that's true. The good news is this was the first iteration of the Alex Orji offense at Michigan. Like we kept hearing throughout the broadcast, hey, he doesn't have an issue with his motion. Like he needs to get more time under his belt. He needs to get more game reps. He needs to get more, to call a spade here, live bullets to be able to evolve as a passer. Now, will he evolve? Remains to be seen. I think for Michigan, again, to get to where they want to go, I think he does have to evolve. I don't think it's a stretch to say you got to throw for more than 32 yards at some point in time to make the college football playoff. Because the reason why that is this style of play provides so little margin for error. Like if Michigan goes down by, call it 2 touchdowns, it's going to be a lot harder to climb back into the game. But going back to what I said, just because this is what you showed yesterday doesn't mean this is who you have to be. I would be surprised if Alex Orji didn't gain confidence from that win yesterday. I'd be surprised if they didn't try and do more with him going forward. So you don't apologize for how you got it done. There's no rule, again, on how often you got to throw it. If you can play this style and execute at that level, and the defense can play at that level, Michigan's going to be in every single football game. I think they're going to have a chance to win a lot of those football games. And again, to me, it comes down to those 3, Illinois, Oregon, Ohio State. Lights out, baby. That's how they played yesterday. So for Michigan, found a way to get it done. Gritty performance in that final 4 minutes. Just a punch you in the face kind of drive, punch you in the face kind of football from Michigan. This is who they want to be. Can you evolve off of it? That's going to be the main thing I'm watching for the Wolverines going forward here behind Alex Orji. But you never apologize for a win. You never apologize whether it's by 10, by 30, by 3. It's a big-time conference win by Michigan under Sherrone Moore. Make sure you're subscribed right here. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.